Hello there. This is an astrological forecast for Sagittarius for October of 2012. This also applies if you have a Sagittarius ascendant. So my dear Sagittarians, Saturn changes sign this month. Only happens every 2 years and 8 months. And it moves out of your 11th house and into your 12th house. And many of you have been experiencing a sense of isolation. Many of you have lost friends or friendships, or your whole social circle seems to have changed and you're feeling in a little bit of limbo. Well, now that Saturn comes into your 12th house, this is a period really for the next couple of years, 2-3 years almost, of finishing up things, Sag. It's a time for closure on events. It's a time not for beginning big new projects, but for closing things up, for maybe sometimes you're going to have to cut your losses and move on, move forwards, look to the future. Sag, you love looking towards the future. It's time to clear away the leftovers from the past so that you can move on. So maybe you need to file for divorce. Maybe you need to push for that divorce. Maybe you need to fight for custody of children. Maybe you need to end a long relationship that's been abusive for a long time. Maybe somebody's been taking advantage of you financially and you need to end that relationship. Whatever it is, whatever's been hanging out needs to be completed. It's the end of a long cycle. You're coming to the end of it. So it's a finishing up period. Always keep that in mind. So that, because you always do have an enthusiasm, Saggy, for starting new things, for getting into all these exciting big new projects, this would not be the time to do it. This is very much the time to pare yourself down to the most important things, to the really most important things, so that then you can start this new life with the things that matter most, and then you can build from there. But there are certainly some things that need to go, that need to change, so that you can start fresh. Now, we've got Venus for much of this month in your 10th house. This is very favourable for your business and your professional life. You will find that workers, co-workers, bosses want to help you. There'll be people who will be able to help you, push you forward with your career and your work. You may also find that you have a relationship with your boss or with somebody older than you. That's also a possibility. Of course, be careful about having a relationship with your boss. It doesn't always end very happily. It often ends with one party needing to leave, and that could well be you. So be careful about getting into a relationship with your boss. But it could mean certainly somebody older than you. Now, as well, for the very end of the month, we've got Venus going into your 11th house. So this is a good time for socializing, for having a party, for getting together with friends. It's also a good time for coaching, for attending a business conference, for doing any kind of training or teaching, passing information on, and also a friendship could become a love relationship or a romance. We've got Mars for much of this month in your 12th house, so it's possible you're going to feel quite irritable. I'd suggest that you look for those reasons within yourself rather than trying to blame people outside of you. Also, it's a good time to do things independently on your own, because other people may well just get on your nerves for much of this month. And you also may feel as though you're not getting the credit for what you've done. It's maybe a bit frustrating. However, last week in the month, already by the middle of the month, we got Mars going into your first house, and that will be a great time when you'll feel as though your energy bursts forth. You're going to feel as though you've got a lot more energy, get a lot more done. It's a good time to do anything physical. It's a good time to stick up for your rights and what you want. And it's also going to be a time when you can accomplish a great deal and be a bit more assertive, because Mars gives you that assertiveness, and it also gives you the opportunity to be a bit more dominant. Where you may have been passive or submissive in a relationship, with Mars in that first house, you can really stick up for yourself much better. And we've got Jupiter, of course, in your 7th house of relationships. So going to be a lot of learning experiences to do with your relationships, many of you, your personal relationships, your business relationships. But Jupiter should bring more people into your life. So if you're looking for a relationship, you're probably going to have an opportunity to get into a relationship. You're looking for a business relationship, that too should come to you as well with Jupiter in your 7th house. We've got this constant all month the square of Uranus to Pluto from your 2nd house to your 5th house. So Sag is not a good time for speculation, not a good time for gambling, because there's a possibility that you really could lose everything suddenly. Financially, you may feel as though you need to be freer. Make sure that you've got control over your finances to the best of your ability, and you don't feel as though somebody else is controlling your finances, or that you're dependent on somebody else financially, because they may just lose their income all of a sudden, and then where are you? So make sure you've got control of your finances to the best of your ability. So there you have it, my dear Saggies. Time for finishing up things, nice things happening in your career, in your work area, and some new relationships coming in. So I wish you a great month. Thank you to those of you who pass the videos on, who tweet them, who share them. And I'm always delighted to hear from those of you who wish to come for a reading. And those of you who like to get my books and my audios, whatever, I'm delighted to hear from you. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.